Hey ChatGPT, a quick question.
Sure, rational believer, what's up?
I heard AI has the potential to destroy our society and even put an end to humanity. That's not true, right?
Well, it's not entirely out of the question.
The dangers of AI,
About AI.
artificial
The
intelligence.
threats AI poses to the social.
In the words of Elon Musk, Google founder Larry Page is looking to build a, quote, digital god.
Basically digital god as soon as possible.
Risk that could lead to the extinction of humans.
Does it worry you, AI?
Somewhat.
If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
It has the potential of civilizational destruction.
You think that's real? It is conceivable that AI could take control and reach a point where you couldn't turn it off and it would be making the decisions for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
History is truly at a turning point.
AI is teaching the machine, and the machine becoming smart.
AI will solve all the problems that we have today.
The housing crisis, cancer, poverty, climate change,
Mental health.
democracy, universal basic income, cure a bunch of diseases.
But it will also create new problems.
Each time we create a more powerful technology, we create a bigger lever for changing the world.
The problem of fake news is going to be 1,000,000 times worse.
How will you know who to trust?
Cyber attacks will become much more extreme.
The click of a button, you can bring down nations to their knees.
We will have totally automated AI weapons.
If the human being is in the loop, you will lose. If you try to intervene, you're going to lose.
You have an incredible amount of power. Why should we trust you?
You shouldn't.
Artificial intelligence, the buzzword of the decade. From self-driving cars to talking robots and clever chatbots that can write your essays in seconds. This all sounds exciting, but behind its promises of convenience and progress lies a grave danger, one that affects us all. AI isn't just a shiny tool of convenience, it's the perfect weapon. A weapon being quietly sharpened by the same powerful hands that already control the banks, the economy, the narrative, and even your beliefs. And while the world is distracted by AI toys, something much bigger and much darker is happening behind the scenes. That's why we should take a closer look at how they are doing it and why we should all be concerned.
The race for AI dominance is a race to the bottom for safety.
Honestly, it's like modern day slavery.
An enormous consolidation of economic and political power in the hands of these companies.
All while the companies and people accelerating this work line their pockets and become more and more out of touch and untouchable.
These companies actually need to be thought of as new forms of empire.
Surveillance capitalism.
The AI warlords.
It's oligarchy.
Capitalism is dead. Welcome to techno-feudalism.
Not long ago, watching a video was enough evidence to know whether something did happen or not, until...
Just this week, this image of an explosion at the Pentagon sent shivers through the stock market before the world realized it was a fake.
There was no explosion at the Pentagon, however.
It was created using, you guessed it, artificial intelligence.
Creating fake content now is easier than ever. A machine learns a face, learns a voice, learns cadence, and with a few lines of code, creates a scene that never happened.
I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
He's going to introduce to you the wonderful world of deepfakes. How AI and VFX are unlocking the future of our imagining.
How will you know who to trust?
In the future, computers will create your television programs. I do what I want.
It's all the real thing.
Fake videos called deepfakes can make it look like anyone said or did anything. Imagine a leader declaring war on camera, a clip that spreads faster than corrections can follow. or a religious figure insulting millions, entire nations could be manipulated before the truth has a chance to surface.
We will have systems that can meaningfully imitate humans to the point where we won't be able to tell anymore whether or not something was said by a human or by a computer.
Hidden forces quietly exploit what we see and hear, bending reality just enough to grow doubt and uncertainty. And soon, even the things that we trust the most can be twisted. In fact, creating these fakes is surprisingly easy and convincing. And since content can now be manufactured faster than it can be verified, information has become a battlefield, and whoever controls the channels that distribute it controls the story. How you use your phone, what you watch on TV, what you post on social media, even the way you act in public when a CCTV camera is nearby, all of it is data. Data collected about you, what you say, where you go, and even how you feel.
Imagine a world where the local police department has access to data of all kinds, which they already do.
We're talking about biometric data in general. That means face, that means voice, even movement, and this type of records. If I'm in a park, what I don't want is that my government is on real time recognizing who am I with, at what time, and doing what. Because we are innocent people, we have done nothing wrong.
AI is basically run on data and fueled by data. The more data, the better the AI works.
This data is then analyzed by artificial intelligence to accurately predict how you behave, often before you know what you'll do next.
The concerning elements here is that this could be used by governments or for private actors to track individuals without consent, infringe their privacy rights, establish a mass surveillance system, and there's also a risk of wrongful identification.
In some countries, these predictions already decide if you can travel, get a loan, or even apply for a job. A digital trust score system is in place to decide for humans, powered by AI, of course.
For example, in a hypothetical country, the government deploys an AI-driven social scoring system that could monitor citizens' online behavior, financial transactions, if they ever complain with their government or not.
So now people are being basically blacklisted from the entire ecosystem of the world because AI is running these super complex algorithms that are censoring people at a mass scale. It gets so crazy that in certain places of Shanghai, and you want to walk on the sidewalk, you're only allowed to walk in one direction. If you walk in the opposite direction, they scan your face, deduct money from your bank account, and if you don't have money in your bank account, social credit score gets removed. And that's what they do, is massive surveillance, massive control.
We're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. The police will be on their best behavior. Citizens will be on their best behavior.
But who is actually behind all of this? The same corporations deeply tied to government agencies and investors sitting in powerful circles. It was never about safety, but rather it was all about control. However, this gets even worse when it comes to algorithms. Ever wondered why your phone lights up with a notification the moment you walk into your room?
What I've learned since is that their entire business is learning as much about you as they can.
Or how you get a perfect TV show and your recommendations right when you turn on your TV.
Everything about your thoughts and your desires and your dreams and who your friends are and what you're thinking, what your private thoughts are.
Even the first reel you see on Instagram are somehow exactly about what you were discussing with your friend just a few minutes ago.
And with that, that's true power. And so I think I didn't know that at the time. Their entire business is basically mining the data of your life.
And it's quite scary how AI does it.
Everywhere you go, you generate a cloud of data. You're trailing data. Everything that you do is producing data. And then there are computers looking at that data that are learning, and these computers are essentially trying to serve you better. They're trying to personalize things to you. They're trying to adapt the world to you. So on the one hand, this is great because the world will get adapted to you without you even having to explicitly adapt it. There's also a danger because the entities and the companies that are in control of those algorithms don't necessarily have the same goals as you.
Because these platforms are designed to hook you in by using advanced AI algorithms which learns every little detail about you and finds out exactly what makes you laugh, what makes you angry, what makes you stay awake at 2 a.m. scrolling. What is it that really gives you a pulse? And it feeds you more and more of it.
Every single free moment you have is a moment you could be looking at your phone and they could be gathering information to target ads at you.
Put simply, every extra second you spend online means more ads, more revenue, and most importantly, more data. By keeping you glued to your screen, these systems quietly draw your focus from what truly matters to replacing it with endless consumption and empty achievements. But this is just a start, and with the rise of even more intelligent algorithms, we'll see things get much, much darker than we can imagine.
We're doing it! We're doing it! And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am.
Did your company help to track and kill Osama bin Laden?
There's a 2/3 chance, depending on the country involved, that somehow my company was involved.
So, we have seen autonomous cars, robotic surgeons, and warehouse machines operating entirely on their own. Now we have autonomous weapons, something just as terrifying as the nuclear bombs.
Look, the system identified that this is a potential target, and so of course the system must be right, and this justifies us targeting this apartment building or going after this person and their family or whatever, right? And nobody's actually going to go check it because, whether it's accurate or not, in that case, I would argue doesn't matter.
If the human being is in the loop, you will lose. You can have human supervision. You can watch over what the AI is doing. If you try to intervene, you're going to lose.
AI-controlled drones, missiles, and battlefield robots. Autonomous weapons that act without any human coordination and can identify, track, and kill as they will, serving the interests of just a handful of powerful people deciding who lives and who dies in seconds, based only on patterns and algorithms.
I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
Yes?
I don't know. I would...
Executives from OpenAI, Palantir, and Meta are on a mission, swapping their C-suite offices for military bases with the goal of bringing some much-needed tech upgrades to the Army.
And on occasion easily taking hundreds of thousands of precious innocent lives based on just a few reckless ardor from people who are just as heartless and just as soulless as the machines they are sending.
Israel has responded with fury. Fighter jets taking aim at targets in the Palestinian territory.
More than 10,000 people have been killed since this conflict began.
All for sake of profit.
War profiteers always win. Regardless of the outcome, there always needs to be another threat on the horizon. And they profit off every bullet and every bomb that's dropped on those babies.
While humans argue and profit, subtle influences are at work, guiding decisions, magnifying harm, and making the world more ready for deception and chaos.
Generations before us thought that future wars would be fought with toxic chemicals and infectious germs. They thought our landscapes would be littered with unexploded landmines. And more recently, it seemed inevitable we were on a course to mass-produce a new class of merciless, autonomous weapons which use algorithms to decide who to kill.
So, many of the scenarios we have talked about are either already unfolding or may happen very soon. But this one is almost here, and we can see it.
I think the machine will
definitely surpass the human driver in the end.
Autonomous driving started.
I believe about 50% of jobs will be somewhat or extrememely threatened by AI in the next 15 years or so.
Jobs, one by one, lost.
Unemployment rate.
Catastrophe of unemployment.
Unemployment.
Unemployment rate.
Unemployment rate. Unemployment rate. Unemployment rate.
Unemployment rate. Unemployment rate.
From truck drivers to cashiers to riders and now even doctors and creatives. Careers built over decades gone, just like that. For us, this means fewer jobs, massive unemployment. But for wealthy individuals who own these systems, it means more profit than ever.
The AI giants want to paint a rosier picture because they're happily making money. So I think they prefer not to talk about the negative side.
And the result? A massive class divide widening faster than ever between a tiny group of AI owners and everyone else.
There's many factors that are driving inequality today. And unfortunately, artificial intelligence, without being thoughtful about it, is a driver for increased inequality.
Put simply, the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer.
It may not be specifically related to AI, but but AI will exacerbate that. And that, I think, will tear the society apart because the rich will have just too much, and those who are have-nots will have perhaps very little way of digging themselves out of the hole.
Extreme poverty and desperation are not accidents. They're tools to make people follow whoever promises relief. And when the ultimate deceiver rises, appearing as the only source of wealth, people will run to him out of hunger and fear. But why does it have to be like this? The answer is simple. The machine does not rest, it doesn't complain, it works faster than any human, and it can replace an entire department at a fraction of the cost. And in the end, only a few will profit, while the rest of us are left behind to fall. AI is often praised as objective, neutral, but in reality it's only as fair as the data it's trained on. So in certain situations, when it comes to hiring, policing, or even arresting, artificial intelligence is made to choose based on the preserved data, and that data is biased.
So most of the AI research is actually filtered through the lens of what is good for these companies versus not, because they have a monopoly on the top AI talent in the world.
So instead of removing bias, it actually multiplies it. In fact, these systems have already been caught discriminating against minorities and the poor.
Chinese authorities are, without any legal basis, arbitrarily detaining up to 1 million Turkic Muslims simply on the basis of their identity. But even outside the facilities in which these people are being held, most of the population there is being subjected to extraordinary levels of high-tech surveillance, such that almost no aspect of life anymore takes place outside the state's line of sight. And so the kinds of behavior that's now being monitored, which language you speak at home, whether you're talking to your relatives in other countries, how often you pray, that information is now being hoovered up and used to decide whether people should be subjected to political re-education in these camps.
And when these issues are exposed, what do the companies do? They create ethics boards controlled by the same people funding the technology. This is not just technology failing, it's society failing through the technology. AI may seem neutral, but it carries the weight of intentions, twisting what's fair and true to serve hidden agendas. And while the world sees convenience, efficiency, and progress, the cracks grow deeper and inequalities sharper. And this is where it gets really dangerous. The most chilling front of this new war isn't on the battlefield. It is in the hearts and minds of believers.
We are going to see AI changing even things like religion. How? At least religions which are based on texts like Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, they give ultimate authority to the text, not to any human being. What happens when you have an AI text that can speak for itself and talk back to you and explain and defend its views?
Today, machines are answering questions about your fate. Muslims, Christians, Jews, people everywhere are turning to AI for fatwas, sermons, and even spiritual advice. And the truth is, these AIs aren't built by scholars. They are tools built by secular corporations, companies who openly filter anything that challenges their values. And as we explained, these AIs are biased. Ask them anything about faith, morality, or modesty, and you'll get very cautious, filtered answers. But ask them about ideologies that align with modern liberal values, and they'll speak with confidence and passion. The double standard reveals everything. These systems don't seek truth. They serve the narratives of those who built them. And yet, online influencers across the Muslim world proudly showcase AI answers to complex religious matters. To their audience, it feels modern, safe, and cool. But in reality, it's very dangerous, because it gives the viewer the thought that AI is a trustful authority for answering their religious questions, slowly making them trust machines over sacred texts or human scholars.
So I have friends who are now working on building religious AIs that are meant to either augment or replace human religious leaders, especially in text-based religions.
A person who's knowledgeable may still navigate these tools carefully. But for the ordinary believer, a single misleading answer can shape an entire belief. So in the end, they don't just control your information, they begin to control your beliefs. And when they can control that, they can control everything. Iblis swore he would lead mankind astray from every direction. And what better way to do that than through a tool that appears neutral but is programmed by the men who deny revelation and guided by algorithms built on secular desires, making the believer question his scholars, doubt his scripture, and accept the whisper of a machine over the word of God. And unless we awaken to it now, we won't even notice when obedience to God quietly becomes obedience to technology.
If you want to see what's planned for the West tomorrow, look at China today.
We are rapidly recreating a time where there are a small group of people that get to make all of the decisions, and they act completely in self-interest, and everyone else kind of lives with the ramifications of their whims.
The digital ID, the digital currency, the AI dystopia agenda. The idea is that you become docile. You simply obey. You become an automaton. That's the idea.
I don't think most people understand just how quickly machine intelligence is advancing. I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile.
The stage is being set for something much bigger. A world so addicted, so controlled, and so blinded that when the final deception arrives, society won't stand a chance. We're no longer dealing with a simple tool. This is unlike any advancement in history. It is shaping how we think, what we see, and even what we believe. And it decides what information reaches us and what voices are silenced. And quietly, it is training us to obey the machine instead of questioning it. This is exactly how the ground is being prepared for the great liar, the Dajjal.
The ultimate level of human control is of our very perception of the world we're living in. First of all, you give them phones. Then you give them smartphones. Then you go to technology on the body. Next is inside the body. The other side of it is what they call the cloud. Through the medium of this cloud. They will connect to this self-replicating nanotechnology in the body. It will control what you think. Artificial intelligence becomes the human mind. That's the goal.
And this is no accident. He vowed to attack us from every direction, every angle, every device. Every new innovation is another doorway for his whispers. And that's why the time to wake up is now.
What's going to happen to us all tomorrow? Who's going to be in charge, machines or men?